trinomial. Let's look at the different types. Let's look at the different types, difference of two squares and trinomial. Difference of two squares and trinomial. Alright, all my grade 10s in the hizzles. If you are in grade 10 and you are doing mathematics, will you please just comment in the comment section with your favorite song currently and the artist? Your song, your favorite song and the artist. If you are in grade 10, please comment in the comment section with your favorite song in 2025 so far, the name of the song and the artist that sings that song. Comedy, if you most you are commenting only if you are in grade 10. If you are in grade 10 in 2025, you don't comment if you are not in grade 10. So please, let's not have people that will comment but they are not in grade 10. Thank you, comedy. Okay, James likes reassurance by names. Hey. Okay, grade 10s, welcome. If you are joining in, like I said, please comment in the comment section with your favorite song, the name of the song and the artist that you currently are crazy about. You know, there are those songs that live in our heads rent-free. They call them songs that live in our heads and in our hearts rent-free. I want to find rent-free songs. I'm looking for rent-free songs. Clifford says We Move by Messi Chinwo. Amba. Okay, alright. I am seeing you. I see you those songs. I see those songs, guys. I see those songs. Seems like I have few grade 10s that are in this live session, which makes me very hesitant to start. I see that song. Hey, Tlochi, that one has been living rent-free from the past couple of days for me. I also use it. I've been using it in my videos that I post as well in the. I'm sure you've seen in the the thingamabob. Not that guy says anything by Nams, any Nams song. It seems like Nams is the guy. I don't even know this person, or is the woman. I don't even know if it's a woman or a male. I don't know if it's male or female, but it seems like he's getting popularity amongst the peeps. Linda says Dick's first time. Like, is that one sort of like in line with the first time that you came into my live session, Landiwe? The first time you ever came into my live session, first time. Hey, Tsecho, you are grabbing my heart, that one. Also, that one, towards the end of last year, it was living rent-free. That Indicize song by Amifaku and the likes. So that one was also in my head a lot. Grade 10s, welcome to the session. I'm hoping my grade 10 learners can just slowly but surely, as you come in, I'm just waiting for you guys to fully be in. So I'll officially start at 22. It's 8:37 at the moment, so in 3 minutes time I'll start. But I'm just wanting you guys to sort of like chill, relax a little bit. You can comment in the comment section. Let me know what is your favorite song and the artist that currently is making you crazy. The song with the artist. You comment in the comment section. If you are in grade 10, you don't comment if you are in grade 11 or grade 12. Please, people, please don't talk. Don't comment for me if you are in another grade. I don't want to hear nothing from you. And you only have the opportunity to comment one song. Unfortunately, you can't comment many. You can only comment one song. Oh, legacy, hello from the other side. Hey, it's still gotten the hearts of others to this day. Adele has still got the people's hearts. All right, okay, all right. I like this thing. Ruth B by Lost Boy. Kwelanga, Dadinda, Tandira. I see Kwelanga. I see that one. See that song. I don't know, Tasha, if you are saying that's a song, we are here, or you are just commenting that as grade 10s, you are actually present. Because I'm like thinking to myself, is that a song? The legacy, Mara, but it's a great song. Yeah, it is a great song, Landio. You can't run away from that. That hello from the other side is a phenomenal song. Beautiful song. Had one of my learners last year sing that song, and the video of her singing that song actually went viral. Crazy viral, because the learner sings so well, so beautifully well. So yeah. Hello from the other side is always a classic. Anyways, we are just a few seconds until we start the session, so just hang in there. Hang in there until you cannot hang anymore. Hang in there until you cannot hang anymore. It's time. Look at James. James is like literally looking at the clock and he's like, this person just better get getting with this thing, It's time. No, definitely it's time. Okay, so far for grade 10s, we have us grade 10s, we've been very busy as a people. We've done a lot so far. So what we've done will be found in the Maths YouTube channel, which is called Maths is a Game. Very raw videos, guys, very raw. No editing, no nothing. Just taking the live session as it is, going and posting it as it is. And honestly, people, I don't want to do anything else. I'll just post it as it is, what it is. Raw and rough and real. That's what I'm about. Anyways, let's get into what we have been doing. As grade 10s, we've been looking recently at factorization. We started looking at highest common factor factorization, which we did and we put behind us. Then we looked at grouping factorization, which we did and we put behind us. Then we looked at how in the highest common factor factorization, there are situations that have common bracket factorization, where we have to take out a common bracket. We looked at that. Then we also checked out something that we refer to as the sign change rule. So I think what I will do today is I'll actually look at the corrections of some of the problems I had asked us to do, and then I will start the section of factorization that I wanted to do for today. I think that will be in order to actually do the corrections, at least some of the problems that we were supposed to have done first, before I jump into what I think is new for us today. Okay, so just comments on the bio. Please just go to my bio, my leader. There is a YouTube link there, man. Okay, go to the bio. There's a YouTube link. You should find it there, my friend. You have come this far. You might as well find me. Do not find me. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to do all of the corrections. I'm just going to do selected problems and do corrections on selected problems, because I just have the interest of doing what? Of just recapping on what we did and then moving on. All right. And I don't want to do what I did for a previous lesson. I just want to sort of cover at least the basics of what I similarly did in the previous lesson. So I am choosing specific problems. Just bear with me for a little bit. No, we are not wasting time. What is this? These people saying we are wasting time. I'm not wasting time. You just need to be patient with me as I sort of like write down. Look at this. Look at me, waste time. Like those people. What are you guys saying? All right. All right, let's go then. So we are going to look at these 8 problems. Okay, I've mixed them from the game challenges I had given you. So we're going to look at them and just recap on the steps that we are supposed to be taking when doing these different types of factorization. So the first one that we have there, the first problem that you have there, I think I've actually taken it down incorrectly. Okay, is 15x squared plus 9x to the power 5. And the question says, factorize fully. Let us recap what we said we ought to do whenever we factorize a particular problem. We said we need to first look at the expression itself. Okay, difference of two squares. Difference of two squares. 15x squared plus 9x to the power 5. How many terms are in the expression? That's the first thing we usually ask ourselves. There are how many terms? 2 terms, because terms are separated by a plus and a minus sign. Then 2. What is the highest common factor sign? Then the highest common factor number, and then the highest common factor letter. Sign, number, letter. What is the highest common factor sign, the highest common factor number, the highest common factor letter? So for the expression, we always take out a positive sign if that positive sign is our first term. So whatever the first term is in our expression, the sign of that first term is what we take out as the highest common factor sign. Then we follow it up by taking out the highest common factor number between 15 and 9, and then highest common factor variable. When we take out the highest common factor variable, we always take out the variable that has the common variable that has the lowest exponent. So for that expression, sorry about that, highest common factor sign positive, highest common factor number between 15 and 9, it's 3. Highest common factor letter between x squared and x to the power 5, we have x to the power 2. Please, people, very important, you open brackets. Now, 3 positive times a what gives me a positive? It is a positive. Are you with me? Then we go to the number. 3 times what gives me 15? Or in other words, what's 15 divided by 3? We get 5. Then the letter, the variable, x squared, I want to have x squared at the end. Do I need to add any other variable of x next to this 5? Definitely not. So the 5 is a solitary term on the left hand side of the bracket. Then we move on. The positive sign. Positive times what gives me back a positive? I get a positive sign. 3 times what gives me 9? Or 9 divided by 3 is equal to 3. There's 2 of the x's that I have here. I want to have a total of 5. How many do I need to add to get 5 of these x's? I need to add 3 of these x's. Remember, why am I thinking it out and saying it out in that way? How many x's do I need to add? It's because when you are multiplying same bases, you keep the base and you do what to the exponents? You add them. All right? So that's why I'm using that logic in thinking. So my factorization, if you look at the bracket, there's nothing to factorize any further from the bracket, so that means this is my factorized expression. Simple enough? I hope so. Let's look at number 2. 15a to the power 4, b to the power 6 plus 3a, b to the power 2. Again, highest common, we look how many terms? There are 2. Are they like terms? No, they are not like terms. A is raised to the power 4, A is raised to the power 1. We can't add these terms. So, we can factorize them, yes, by taking out the highest common factor sign, highest common factor number, highest common factor letter. The sign for the first term is positive, so our positive sign is the highest common factor, followed by what? The number. What's the highest common factor between 15 and 3? It is also 3. Highest common factor variable. A to the power 4 and A, we take out the common base that has the lowest exponent. So that is A. And then B to the power 6 and B to the power 2, we take out the common base that has the lowest exponent. That's B to the power 2. We are done taking out the highest common factor. What is left inside? 3 times what? First and foremost, the sign. Positive times what gives me a positive? Obviously, it's positive. 3 times what gives me 15, or what is 15 divided by 3? Once again, it's 5. Then A, I took out 1A. I need 4 in total. How many A's do I need to add? I need to add 3 of them. B, I took out 2 B's. I need 6 in total. How many do I need to add? 4. So there's 4 B's. Okay. Then I move on to my next term. Positive times what gives me a positive? Obviously the positive sign, followed by 3 times what is 3? That's 1. I write down the 1. A, I took out 1A. I need 1 more A. So I need an A. Do I need to write an A? No. B, I took out 2 of these B's. I need 2 at the end. Do I need to add any more? No. Therefore, this is my answer. Can I factorize what's in the bracket any further? No, I cannot. So therefore, this is my final answer. Guys, I hope we are following the logic. Okay, so I'm sure you guys are like, guys, this is simple enough. I understand, but the concept, we need to constantly go through this checking process of checking the highest common factor sign, number, letter, and then taking out these factors. Very important. Let's look at number 3. These are our terms. How many terms do we have in the expression? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 terms. Is there a highest common? Are these like terms? No, they are not. Is there a highest common factor for all 4 terms? Yes, there is. The highest common factor is 1. But will that have any effect on the expression? No. So, seeing as though there's no highest common factor variable, highest common factor number, it therefore means that because I have an even number of terms, what do I mean by an even number of terms? I have terms that are 4, 8, 12, 16, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. These are even number of terms. It means I need to apply what I refer to as grouping. I factorize using grouping. So I need to pair terms together that I can see have an evident highest common factor. So if you look at the first 2 terms, can I pair them? Do they have an evident highest common factor for sign, number, and variable? It seems like they do. Look at the last 2 terms. Do they have an evident highest common factor? Yes, they do. So I can actually group a pair and take out the highest common factor. So that's what we do. Now the thing is, you know that 3pq plus 3pr minus 4mr minus 4mq, you are grouping these two together and these two together. So I don't usually put brackets to show that I'm grouping them. In my head, I know these, I am grouping them. So all I do is I look at these two, focus just on them, take out the highest common factor. What is the highest common factor between 3pq and 3pr? If you could look at the sign, the first number, first term is positive. So that means the sign that I take out is a positive. Then the number 3 and 3, which highest common factor? It's 3. Then for the letter PQ and PR, P is common. The exponents are the same, so I just take out P. Is there another variable that I take out? No. Then I open brackets. What is left on my right, on the left side? Okay. Okay. P times what gives me Q? Is you multiply by Q. 3P times what gives me 3PQ? It's 3P times this Q. So there's a Q that's left over on the left. Positive times what gives me positive? It's another positive. Then on the other side, 3P times what gives me 3PR? What's left is R. I close the bracket. I'm done factorizing the first two terms. Are you with me? Let's look at the last two terms now. You focus just on that now, the last two terms. Okay? You must look at the two terms, and the first term has a what? A negative sign. Remember, I said when you are looking at specific terms and you want to factorize those terms, you always take out the sign of the first term as your highest common factor as well. So the sign that I'm going to take out here is negative. Are you with me? Then I go to the number 4 and 4. Just hang on. Okay, you guys see it, ne? 4 and 4, I take out 4. M and M is common. R and Q, obviously, there's no other common variable. Then in brackets, what are we left with on the left side? Minus 4 and M have been taken out. What's left is R. Now let's be very careful with the sign. We took out a negative sign. A negative times what gives me a negative? Hey, people, be very careful here. Tasha, you see the mistake that you've just made. Take note, you've took out a negative. Once you take out a negative sign, it changes all the signs between, okay, inside your bracket. This R is not negative, it's positive. On the other side, we are left with what? Minus 4M is out. Negative times what gives me a negative? It's a positive. A negative times a positive gives me a negative. Very important. Okay, so be very careful. Then the only left letter is Q. Now, if we look at this, how many terms do we now have in our new expression that we've just factorized? How many terms do we have here? Klochi, you are spot on. We have 2 terms. This is your first term. Minus separates this whole term. Remember, brackets combine terms. So this is your first term. This is your second term. Now, what do you notice about your first term and your second term? You have a bracket that is Q plus R. This side, you have a bracket that is R plus Q. Something to just note very quickly. 1 plus 2 and 2 plus 1, are these the same thing? 1 plus 2 gives you, and 2 plus 1 gives you. So are these the same thing? Yes, they are. So this is 3 and this is 3. So look at this, guys. Q plus R and R plus Q are the same thing. In other words, we have what we call here as a what? A common factor bracket. A common factor bracket for my two terms, because Q plus R and R plus Q are the same thing. So what can we take out then from my two terms? We can take out the what? The bracket R plus Q. Now whether you write it as R plus Q or Q plus R is irrelevant. Are you with me, guys? Please, it's irrelevant whether you write it as Q plus R or R plus Q. Doesn't matter. Okay? Yeah. Some people, they like alphabetical order. That's fine. Okay? Remember, addition. The reason why we say 1 plus 2 is the same thing as 2 plus 1 is because addition, from grade 8, we learned that addition is commutative. In other words, the order in which you place your numbers when you are adding doesn't matter, because the answer will still be the same thing. Are you with me? So addition and multiplication have a commutative property. The word commutative just simply means it doesn't matter how you place the numbers when there's addition, and it doesn't matter how you place the numbers when there's multiplication. The answer will be the same. All right? Where it matters is when you have subtraction and division. Hey, you see the order for subtraction. Subtraction and division are not commutative, but multiplication and addition are commutative. Okay? So R plus Q is common. Then what's left on the left, if we take R plus Q out, we're left with 3p. What's left on the right side, if you take the R plus Q out, we are left with negative 4m. Now we have completed the factorization. It's incomplete if we simply end here. Okay? It is complete once we get here. Okay, so hopefully we're feeling each other, people. And yes, me, I have a tendency of emphasizing and hitting something over and over again, because you know what, it pains me when I am marking someone's work, and then I realize that this person was not listening to me when I was teaching, but I taught. But then what they are writing is a reflection that I did not teach anything. And that's painful. You know. Imagine telling me the world's secret on how to make money. And you tell me the world's secret of how to make money. I am poor. And you know that when you give me that secret, you will be ensuring that I am set for life. But then what I do is that I don't even show that I understand that secret and don't apply it. Then I still am in poverty, and I still come to you and I beg for money. Please give me money, please give me money. But you gave me the secret on how to make money. Guys, you see, that's the same thing with teaching. It's like we're giving the knowledge to the people and we are emphasizing things. So please run with them. Don't leave them. Next question that was there is this one that I want us to look at. Poor. Yeah, Boland. X minus y, the whole thing squared, minus 3 into x minus y. Look at this thing. How many terms do we have in this expression? You see, this thing of identifying terms is very key. How many terms do we have in this expression? We have to factorize here. There's 2 terms. Step number 1. Then next, what type of factorization can we apply here? There are 2 terms, but what can you see? In this first term, you have x minus y, the whole thing squared. That's the first term. Then you minus. In the second term, you have negative 3 into x minus y. You see this thing? So we have something common here. We have a common what? A common bracket. But please, guys, take note of this common bracket, because there's something a bit more special about it. The first bracket is x minus y squared, whereas the second bracket is just x minus y, which means its exponent is just 1. Right? So if we look at taking out highest common factor according to the sign, number, letter, this common bracket is positive 1. right? So we know that when we take out a common factor, we are going to take out a common bracket first. That is positive. But when we take out that common bracket, look at this common bracket, it's raised to the power 2. This bracket is raised to the power 1. So remember, for variables, whenever we take out something that's common, we take out the common thing that has the what? That has which exponent? Which has the lowest exponent. Are you with me? So that means we are going to take out x minus y. It is common because as a common bracket, the one that has the lowest exponent is the x minus y that is raised to the power 1. We take that out. Then, what are we left with? On the left, if we took out one of these x minus y's, what are we left with on the left side? We are left with one bracket, which is x minus y, and it's raised to the power 1. Are you with me? It means we are left with one of this x minus y. Are you with me, guys? I don't want to move on further until people can confirm with me. There's 120 of you in the call, guys, and I want to confirm and want you to confirm with me that we are all understanding that there's a common factor bracket. But we cannot take out a common factor bracket willy-nilly. We take out the common factor bracket that has the lowest exponent. We are still applying our basic knowledge of the bracket or the variable that has the lowest exponent because we have commonality. So we take out the x minus y. Then what are we left with? We are left with small x minus y bracket. Are you with me? Because this x minus y times bracket times this x minus y bracket will give me back this raised to the power 2. Then let's move to the right side. We took out x minus y. What is left on the right side? And when we took out this x minus y, we took out a positive x minus y. A positive times what gives me a negative? What's the sign? What is the sign, guys? Thank you, James. It's negative. But what is then left on my right side? It's negative what? Negative? And I'm going to wait for you. This is grade 10, Sebil. Negative? Not that guy and king, Sia king, Pila, you are amazing. And then you close the bracket. Guys, can you see this? Are we vibing? Are we vibing together, guys? I hope we are really vibing. Okay. Then we can just finally do the following. This x minus y, we can just remove the bracket x minus y because it's raised to the power 1 minus 3. This we can leave as this answer. Okay, guys, beautifully done. Okay, so this common factor bracket thing, we need to understand that sometimes what's common sometimes is basically a bracket. It's not just sometimes the variable. Okay, yeah. Okay, yes, there are two of these x minus y's. Okay, there are two of these x minus y's for this term, this side, whereas for this x minus y there is one. So when I take out a common bracket, I take out the common bracket that has the lowest exponent. So I take out one of the x minus y because the one that has the lowest exponent is x minus y raised to the power 1. But if I take out one of the x minus y's for the left, if I take out one of the x minus y's, what is left for the left hand side that I can write in the bracket? There is one of the x minus y's left. Okay. I liked what Smart Study said. If you were to break down this x minus y squared, it's like saying x minus y into x minus y minus 3 into x minus y. If you break down x minus y squared, it's actually x minus y into x minus y on the left. And then this side you have x minus y. Are you with me? Then what are we doing here? We are factorizing. So if we are factorizing, what we want to do is take out the highest common factor. But here we don't have a highest common just factor. We have a highest common factor bracket, which is what? On the left, we can take out x minus y, which is this x minus y that I took out. But if I take out this x minus y, what is left on my left-hand side? I'm left with x minus y. Are you with me? For the left side. Then, what about on the right side? If I took out an x minus y, on the right side, I'm left with negative 3. Then I close the bracket. Okay? Okay, so that's very, very important. Very, very important. So, yeah, guys, this here and this here are common, right? So this is my first term and this is my last term. X minus y squared is my first term and then this side is my second term. All right? Because that's why I always say to you, ask yourself the question first, how many terms do you have in your expression? And then you guys said how many terms? 2. Because our minus sign will separate. This is term 1 on this side and this is term 2 on the right side. Then after that, you always take out, when you are factorizing, you take out the common bracket that has the lowest exponent. So what did we do here? We took out x minus y on the left side. So that x minus y is out. So I took out x minus y. But I'm left with this one. So inside the bracket, I write the x minus y on the left inside the bracket that I'm left with. But then on the right side, I've already taken out an x minus y. What is left on the right side? I'm left with negative 3. Then I close the bracket. Okay. If you leave your answer in this way, that's fine, guys, that's fine. The reason why I go to the extent of actually making sure that I remove this bracket is because remember that here, before this bracket, there's a coefficient that is 1. If I take this one and I multiply it, I can remove the bracket. It becomes x minus y. This is to accommodate a situation where maybe in this bracket, there's a like term that will basically add with this one and simplify that bracket even further. So that is why I actually remove the bracket. Sometimes you will find that in certain questions, there are like terms that you can add within that big bracket, which will basically simplify your answer even further. That's why we remove this small bracket for our final answer. Are you with me? But because there's no like term that features for this and that, then it's fine if you leave your answer with this small bracket in there. Okay. Hopefully we are together. Okay, I'm going to move now to the next question. You see, the thing is, what I'm seeing here is that there are people that are joining in because I can see the numbers, they are growing, and the people that are joining in, they're probably joining in for the first time, and it's like, wow, okay, I see. And I appreciate the people that are commenting in the comment section that are helpful and are helping others. Okay, yes. Because we learn through collaboration. You guys are making it simple. All right. King, I don't understand. What do you mean if you don't close the bracket? Which bracket are you talking about? Do you mean the big bracket? If I don't close it, you must close the big bracket, big man. Okay, it's very important. Okay, Pandima Ben, I don't understand what you're saying. You said you took out x minus y. Yes, I did, both sides. But you wrote them both on the left-hand side. Okay, remember the reason why I have x minus y, the whole thing squared, and I wrote these x minus y's is because I just wanted to show the learners that are not understanding me saying there are 2 of these x minus y's. So I broke them down. I broke down this x minus y squared so that it can be x minus y into x minus y. So they can see practically the 2 x minus y's I'm talking about. Right? So the first term has been broken down. The second term is already broken down. Okay? Okay? And then after that, because the question says factorize. Remember, factorization, The types of factorization we have is where we take out a highest common factor. So if we have what we call a highest common factor, we take it out. So there's x minus y into x minus y, which is our first term, and then on the other side there's negative 3 into x minus y. What is common for these two terms? What is the common thing for the two terms? It's x minus y. So we take out x minus y. That's why I've written x minus y. Okay, let me just write it with a different color bracket. So I take out x minus y because x minus y is common for this term and x minus y is common for this term. So I take out one of my x minus y's. But remember, if I take out one, then it means on the left, how many x minus y's am I left with? See, if I hide one, how many are left? Just one. So inside the big bracket, I write the 1x minus y that I'm left with. Remember, I go to my second term now. I already took out an x minus y. So what is left on my right side? I'm left with negative 3. Okay, so for this big bracket, I have an x minus y in a small bracket minus 3. Are you with me? Then I conclude. This is the x minus y I had taken out. It's still there. This x minus y, like I said, you could leave your answer in this state, but we just, for the purpose of maybe there being a like term between x and negative y and negative 3, we consider that there's a 1, we distribute that 1, we remove the bracket, we get x minus y minus 3, and just leave the last bracket as 3 terms in the big bracket. And that's that. Answer complete. Okay, so let's move now, because I need to move. A plus c to the power 4 plus a plus c. Kuhle, that's good. You thought that the answer was 3 into x minus y, meaning you thought that here on this side we'd also put in an x minus y. Why can't we do that? It's because that x minus y is already taken out. All right, so for the right hand side, we can't put another x minus y because we've already taken out that x minus y. Are you with me? But for the left side, we took out just the 1x minus y, so we are still left with another one. That's why that one is there. Okay, let's move, guys. Grade 10. A plus c to the power 4 plus a plus c to the power 5. We first look at the expression. We ask ourselves, how many terms are in the expression? How many terms are in the expression, good people? Okay, the comment section must just flood itself with how many terms are in the expression. So how many terms are in the expression? There are 2. Thank you so much. You guys are beautiful. Beautiful people. Next question. We need to then take out the what? If there is one. The highest common factor. We take it out for the sign. So this one is positive. This is positive. So we know that we are going to be taking out something positive. The number. The coefficient, even if you can't see it, we know there's a highest common factor number. That is 1 there. It's there even though we don't see it. But we don't have to write it down. Okay, so the positive and the 1 are unseeable. They are invisible, but they are there. We know they are present even though we don't see them. It's like things that we believe in that we don't see but are there. Let's look at the common bracket now, which represents our variable. A plus c is raised to the power 4, whereas on the second term, a plus c is raised to the power what? 5. So when we take out our common factor bracket, we are going to take out the common factor bracket that has the lowest exponent. I repeat, we are going to take out the common factor bracket that has the lowest exponent. What is that common factor bracket that has the lowest exponent? There are 4 of these a plus c's. There are 5 of these a plus c's. So we take out the one that has the lowest exponent. I'm sure you can see the lowest number between 4 and 5 is 4. So that means we take out what? A plus c to the power 4. We take that out. because this term is the first one, this one is the second one, separated by a plus sign. We take out a plus c to the power 4. Okay, we take out the a plus c. We see that a plus c and a plus c are common, right? But then we take out the common bracket that has the lowest exponent. Which one has the lowest exponent? It's a plus c to the power 4. Now, if we take the a plus c to the power 4 out, the question is, what are we left with now for our first term inside the bracket? If you took out 4 of the a plus c's, what are you left with on the left side now? Smart study is right. We are left with 1, and most of you are saying 1. And I am happy and proud to hear you say that. That means you guys understand that anything multiplied by 1 gives you that thing back, because 1 is what we refer to in grade 8 and 9 as an identity element. Multiplication by 1 still helps the other number retain its identity. Okay, so a plus c to the power 4 times this one. Okay, so we are left with 1 on the left. Now, what are we left with on the right side? We took out 4 of these a plus c's. We need to have 5. How many do we need to have on the right hand side? Do you hear the logic, guys? Thank you so much, LLNS, for the finger heart. A plus c raised to the power 4. There are 4 of these a plus c's that we took out. We need 5 of these a plus c's. How many a plus c's do we need to have on the right in order to make up for the 5? We need 1 of this a plus c. So we put a smallanyana bracket for that a plus c, then we close the entire bracket because we had opened the bracket. Now we close it. Who are we together, people here? Bantu bamudimo. Are we together? Okay, I see the yeses. Is there someone that's saying no? Ukuhle is saying no. All right. So Ukuhle, I need to repeat again. Listen, guys. Okay. One concept you guys need to all get is that when you're taking out a highest common factor, you are taking out that thing that is common. That for a variable, if there are different exponents that are there for that common thing, you are always going to be taking out the common base that has the lowest exponent. That is the principle behind that thing. Okay, yeah. So the common bracket that has the lowest exponent is what we take out. So this is the first term, it's a plus c, it's raised to the power 4. This is the second term, it's a plus c, it's raised to the power 5. You guys need to write down this note that for a highest common factor, for things that are common, you take out the common bracket. Or if it's a variable that's common, you take out the common variable that has the common bracket that has the lowest exponent. Okay, yeah. So we take out a plus c to the power 4. All right, yeah. And I like what Junior LM is saying there in the comment section. Or you can say, so if you take this out, if you want to figure out what's left, you're taking the a plus c raised to the power 4 and you are dividing by a plus c raised to the power 4. Something divided by itself leaves you with 1. Or if you took out a plus c raised to the power 4, which is the common base with the lowest exponent between these two, then what are you left with? What are you left with here? You are left with 1. All right. Remember, people, that after you've taken out a common bracket, what you are doing now is you open a bracket so that you can accommodate what is found inside after you've taken out the common factor. So what's left inside on the left is 1. All right. This bracket is accommodating the 1 plus what is left on the right side now. On the right side. Remember, the left is already taken care of. We have 1 left. Because 1 is an identity element. It does not change this a plus c to the power 4. What is left on the right, guys? We have a plus c to the power 4. My question is, if we have 4 of the a plus c's taken out, we need 5 of them. How many a plus c's do we need to add to 4 to get 5? And this thought process of saying how many a plus 4s do we need to add to the 4 to get 5 is coming from the fact that, remember, from the law of exponents, you've learned that when the bases are the same and you are multiplying same bases for exponents, what do you do if the bases are the same and you are multiplying? What do you do to the exponents? You are adding them to get a to the power 9. Are you with me? So the thinking process is coming from that. I am acknowledging that a plus c and this a plus c are common base type, expressions. Then, if I have an a plus c raised to the power 4 taken out, I need to have 5 of them, of these a plus c's. How many must be added to get that 5 back? I need only 1. I need only 1 of this a plus c. But remember, this a plus c is a binomial. So it is its own special unique bracket that I need to put in there. Please, people, for a plus c, to accommodate this a plus c, it's raised to the power 1, right? I don't have to write the 1 there, but I put the bracket around the a plus c. Then, remember, I had opened a bracket to begin with, so I need to then close that bracket. That's why I have this bracket in there, guys. Okay. Some people usually use square brackets so that they can distinguish between this small bracket that is open, and then they used a square bracket, to basically accommodate the terms inside this one. Okay. So that's factorized. That is factorized. And then you can conclude and say a plus c raised to the power 4 is 1 plus. Now, obviously, you can remove this small bracket, all right? You do this removal of this small bracket, you take whatever is here, you just distribute it. Why? Because in the case where there was a like term which could be added to this one, you would have to have that simplification of that small bracket taken care of. So that's why we remove it. Positive 1 times a gives me a, and positive 1 times c gives me c. And then that's just 1 plus a plus c with 3 terms in that last bracket. Hey, guys, if you are hearing me well, I hope you heard me well. Very well. Okay. And you know what I'm finding? Yes, guys, please, we are still, those who are joining in, you guys are, it's like you are finding yourselves in a whirlpool. Okay. We are currently doing factorization, highest common factor and grouping, all right? We still need to move on to other types of factorization. So those who have been attending the sessions will obviously be in tune with what we are doing. Those who are joining in the session for the first time now, I'm sure also you are in tune, especially if you are someone who has been busy on your own and you are doing your own work. I'm proud of you. You must keep it up. There are now 200 and something people on the call, and all honesty, usually in our grade 10 session we usually have just under 100. Now it means that there are new people that are coming in, and I wonder, I beg to wonder if all of the people that are here are in grade 10. I have a feeling some of people are not in grade 10. Just an appeal, if there are teachers that are here, please, good people, if there are teachers that are here, please, and if you are good and you have your concepts and your content knowledge down, please, guys, so many kids need help with maths. Your live sessions, stop going on live session and just playing live matches and having a good time. You have a skill that you can serve the nation with. Please deploy it so that others can benefit. There are kids here that are good grade 12 learners that were good, they got amazing results, please run live sessions and teach maths. I cannot obviously assist and help everyone, but the ones that I can help, very good. But if there are people that have followings, please, people, help others, help them out. So let's look at this one as well. So we are asked to factorize, all right, grade 10, all right, but this is also applicable to a grade 9 learner who is coming from grade 10, because obviously this is grade 10, right? Yeah. So look at this. 7x into m minus 3n, right? Minus 4y into 3n minus m. We look at, firstly, how many terms do we have in the bracket? How many terms, guys? How many terms? And you must remember as well that I started from somewhere. People did not join my sessions when I first started. I had a few following. So please, let's not be too negative. Yes, we have 2 terms. In the majority, people, we should understand we have 2 terms. If you are in grade 10 this year, you should know that there are 2 terms in the expression. Why? Because brackets combine terms. So 7x into m minus 3n is 1 term. Minus separates this first term from this one, because this bracket combines 4y to become 1 term. So we have how many terms? 2. Please, people, let us be on our feet in understanding there are 2 terms. Second question. Now that we can see we have 2 terms, do we have a highest common factor from the 2 terms? Either a common factor bracket, or a highest common factor number, or a highest common factor variable. Do we? Do we? No. Well, in actual fact, we do. 1 is the highest common factor, guys, but that 1, if we take it out, has no real significance. It does not change things. All right? So we have to then look at our bracket. Let's look at our brackets. Look at this. This is m minus 3n. This is 3n minus m. Brackets are nearly alike, and if only the order of this bracket could be m minus 3n, if it could just be the same as this one, if we could influence this guy to change to this one, we would be good, right? Okay, so what can we then do? Seeing as though we have no highest common factor, we can see a potential common bracket, but it's not common. But we can see that there's a minus sign between these 2 brackets. Both of them, for the terms inside the bracket, we have a minus sign. So we can apply a very important rule, which we call the sign change rule. What? Sign change rule. We can apply the sign change rule. Okay, so that means we can change the separating sign. I like what Lohit is saying in the bottom. We can change the separating sign. Remember, the relationship between 4y and this minus is one of multiplication. This negative 4 gets distributed inside the bracket when we are looking at the product of this monomial by the binomial. The sign gets distributed. Now let's think about it practically. All right, if I do the following thing, let's just talk about this 3n minus m and potentially changing this 3n minus m to m minus 3n. Why do we want to change 3n minus m to m minus 3n? So that we can be twins with this bracket, common bracket twins. We want to take out the common bracket, right? It's like we are close, but we are far, right? So what if we did this? What if we took a negative sign and multiplied this m minus 3n? Would that help us to still retain the 3n minus m? Would that help us to still keep 3n minus m as it is? Let's check it out, guys. Let's say we wrote m minus 3n, so we just changed the order, and then we, instead of it being positive, we change the positive to negative. Let's take the negative and distribute it. Negative times n gives me, I get back the negative m. Oh, wow. Negative times negative 3n. What's a negative times a negative? I get a positive 3n. So I get this positive 3n back. Okay. So in other words, if I change the sign for my outside, I can change the order of the terms inside my bracket, given that the sign in between is negative. Yes, you can. Okay, let's do this here then. 7x m minus 3n. Now please take note, guys. All right, I'm just going to do the step so that you guys can see that this is what I did. Okay, yeah, please take note, guys. Remember, I said that if we take out a negative sign, we change the order, I still can get this 3n minus m back. Are you with me? What's the relationship of negative 4y and this negative? It's multiply. So if I multiply negative times a negative, what do I get? Positive 4y, which still leaves me with the m minus 3n. Are we together, people? Then I can rewrite this expression of two terms as 7x into m minus 3n plus 4y into m minus 3n. I want to say to you then that you don't necessarily have to go through this step. The reason why I showed you this step is so that you can understand why it is that I'm going to change the sign, then change the order of these independent numbers with their variables. Change the sign, change the order, 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 change the sign of the outside monomial, change the order so that the order of your common bracket is now the same. Do you feel me, my brothers and sisters? It was just Sunday yesterday, guys, but do we feel this thing? Hopefully we feel it. Okay, is it feelable? So we change. What do we do whenever we have a minus in both brackets in between the terms and the order is not the same? Go to one of your brackets, change the sign of the outside monomial, and then simply change the order. That is the same thing, right? It will still lead you back to the same expression. Are we together? Now we can proceed in the following way. What is the common bracket in our expression? What is the common bracket in our expression? We can take out m minus 3n. And what's beautiful about m minus 3n, both of these m minus 3n's are both raised to the power 1. So we take out, okay, m minus 3n as a common bracket because it's common. Yeah? Then what are we left with on the right? I mean on the left. If we take out m minus 3n, what are we left with on the left for our first term in the opened bracket? If we cover m minus 3n, we are left with what on the left? We are left, yes, Lipadzi, we are left with 7x. Yes, Tasha. Then if we cover, because we've taken out m minus 3n, okay, and there's only one of them, which is that one is already out, what are we left with on the right? We are left with positive 4y. Can we factorize any further? This bracket has nothing more that we can factorize. This bracket has nothing more that we can factorize. So our answer is m minus 3n into 7x plus 4y. Sign change rule. This rule is applied only when separate terms for their bracket have minus sign. All you simply do is you do what? You change the sign of the separating the separating sign, and then you change the order. I change the plus. You see, this is A minus B, this is B minus A. Change the sign, change the order. Change sign, change order. I think I can even do a gom, you know, if for the Xhosa people that are here, people, I think if we can get a nice amapiano beat, someone to just orchestrate a nice amapiano beat, we can do a change sign, change order, you know, for grouping, change sign, change order, for common brackets, change sign, change order. If we can do chincha magia, then I think change sign, change order, it can also be something that can be a hit. All right. So I'm going to repeat this: 7x into m minus 3n minus 4y into 3n minus m. This was our expression. I asked you guys, how many terms do we have in the expression? That's what I asked. Then you guys said 2 terms, and I'm happy. So what do you do after identifying there are 2 terms? You then look, let's take out the highest common factor. As we look at it now, the m minus 3n and 3n minus n are not common brackets. Why? Because m starts here and ends with 3n, but here we start with 3 and we end with negative m. Why do we furthermore say these things are not the same? Guys, I'm sure you guys know this. 1 minus 2, is it the same thing as 2 minus 1? Is 1 minus 2 the same thing as 2 minus 1? 1 minus 2 is negative 1, whereas 2 minus 1 is positive 1. So you guys know that subtraction is not commutative. The order in which you place numbers when you are subtracting is important, because if the order is different, the answer is different. So that's why we say m minus 3n and 3n minus m are not common brackets. So what do we do to push this agenda of making them to become common brackets? So we first established that there are 2 terms. That's the first thing. 2. Is there highest common factor that we have here? Yes, there is. It's 1, but it does not make a difference. For variables, there's no common factor. So therefore, it means that we look at the bracket. Nearly these brackets are the same, but they are not. The signs are negative. When there's negative signs, we know that those brackets are not the same. Can we change them? Can we change one of the brackets so that the brackets are the same? Yes, we can. How? We use something called the sign change rule. What is this sign change rule? The sign change rule is simply a rule that we use. Yes, the SCR. I like your short wording there. SCR. Hey, it's like an operation, sort of like a terminology that we use in a medical what. I like that, Tash. So anyways, what do we do here is this 3n minus m, as I explained, we can simply take out a negative sign for this 3n minus m and then change the order of our expression. We start with the m first and we end with the negative 3n. So all we do is we just swapped around. We kept the negative sign just there, and then we just swapped around m to be first as positive and then 3n to be last as negative 3n. Then we took out a negative sign. You see, when you take this negative sign and distribute it back, what's negative times m? Gives you back negative m. Negative times negative 3n gives me back the positive 3n. Okay? So that's what's beautiful here. Now, that's what we did, right? We take out a negative sign, then that allows us to change the order of our terms inside the bracket as m minus 3n. But remember, there was a negative sign there. Now, times this particular negative sign that we've taken out, what's a negative times a negative? It gives us a positive. So what I'm saying is this step is just something I have done to show you what I have done to get this positive 4y. In an actual classwork or test or whatever, you can simply see when you have these brackets that are different, you can simply just change the sign of the separating sign term from negative to positive, then you change the order. Change the sign, change the order. And then there you have it. You have m minus 3n and m minus 3n. They are common, all right? And then you have a separating sign that's no longer negative, but it is positive. Do we have now a common bracket? Yes, we do. What is the common bracket? It's m minus 3n. Is it really common? Yes, it is, because the order is the same, guys, beautifully, because we were allowed to change the sign of the separating sign. Then take out the common bracket, that's m minus 3n. If we take it out, what are we left with on the left? We are left with 7x. What are we left with on the right? We are left with positive 4y. That is our answer. How sweet, how beautiful, how complete. Any questions? Okay. Yeah, if you did it the other way around, whereby you were, if you would have done the other way around, yes, if you had decided to change the order, keep 3n minus m this side and change the order of this side as 3n minus m, then it means the 7x would become negative, right? Yeah. Then obviously, with the next step, you take out that 3n minus m, and then you'd have in the other bracket negative 7x minus 4y. But then you'd still have to actually simplify each respective bracket, because to have negative as your first term in a bracket is not proper, so you'd have to take it out. So I think it's better that we look at changing the second term. Let's look at the next one, guys. Yeah, it's one of the nicest subjects, but it is beautifully tricky, but beautifully so. Yeah, that's why people that spend a lot of time in it actually end up getting these 100% that you guys are all going to worship and love. I'm sure you're going to see when they release the results, there are people who will have registered 100% in mathematics grade 12, and you'll be like, wow, that guy is an amazing, is phenomenal. He is, because he's learned how to play the game. If you know the rule, guys, the rules of the game, and you play it long enough. You know, yesterday I was laughing at my son because we bought them these little games to play, and he was struggling to get through a level because he would get to the boss and he would always get beaten all the time. So he came to me, he's like, Dad, can you please help me out here? I'm like, no, you must struggle. Do it. You will eventually get it. I think after like 50 or 50 tries or more than 50 tries, he was getting very despondent. He came back. He was like, look, Dad, I finally did it. And I was like, yeah, you see, I told you you'd eventually be able to do it. So sometimes you need to practice, and you need to have that tenacity, that staying power, that grit to sort of like, repeat. You'll finally get it, man. So let's look at this problem. How many terms in this expression? Once again, we can see 7x into m plus 3n. Okay. Plus 4y into negative m minus 3n. So there are two terms, they are separated. Look at the brackets. In fact, do we have a highest common factor? It is 1. Does it make a difference? Not really. Okay, so we move on to the next thing. Look at the brackets. Are they common? No way, they are not common. But there's something that we notice here. This time round, this bracket is m plus 3n. Okay, it's m plus 3n. Look at this one. Negative m minus 3n. Now there's something that is actually saying to me, okay, for this bracket we have a first term that is negative. Okay, so here we don't have to, if we have a negative first term in a bracket, we know that we usually factorize that bracket by taking out the negative sign. So let's actually go and do that for that bracket. Okay, plus 4y, let's just look at the bracket. If we took out a negative for that m minus 3n, what does that leave me inside the bracket? Take out a negative times what gives me back a negative m? It's a positive m. Negative times what gives me back negative 3n? It's a positive 3n. Do you see what just happened there, guys? All right. So it's always good to actually take these steps, step by step. Then the 4y has a relationship of multiply with this bracket, with this negative. So we say 4y times this negative. What situation would that leave me with? Positive times a negative gives me a negative 4y. Right? Positive times a negative gives me a negative 4y. Then the bracket is left with m plus 3n. the beauty of actually following through with the factorization of a bracket leading me to a common bracket. All right. All right. Now I have a common bracket. I can see the common bracket. So that means I can move on to the next step. So please take note of this one. This is m plus 3n. This is negative m minus 3n. We look at this and we are like, this one has a first term that is negative. And the thing is, in factorization of highest common factor, whenever there's a negative sign for our first term, you usually take that negative sign out as a highest common factor. So that's what we applied here. We took out that negative sign as a highest common factor. Then we have m plus 3n. Then after that, we look at the product of positive 4y as a monomial multiplied by this negative that is outside. That gives us negative 4y. And then we are left with m plus 3n. Brackets are common. Then from there, what can we do? Guys, remember, this is factorized. My wonderful people, we are factorizing here. Okay, but we are just simply using this because we can see there's no highest common factor, there's nothing here, right? So because we can see there's no highest common factor, it means that we can see a bracket nearly common, but it's not. So therefore, what we then do is we actually look at this single bracket. Let's take out the highest common factor, because in factorization we know that if we take out the highest common factor, negative. If we take out this negative, what happens? Take out the negative sign. Negative times what gives me a negative? It's a positive m. That's why this m is positive. It's positive 1m, this one. Then again, if you took out a negative times what will give you a negative? Understand? A negative times what gives you a negative? It's a negative times a positive. That's where this positive comes from. Please take note, people. If you take out a negative sign, in actual fact, taking out a negative sign will change everything inside the bracket. Okay? Do you know that? Do you see that? Landio, I know myself, I'm creative. I love that. I love your response. It's beautiful. It's classic. I understand you, Landio. I understand you, Landio, very well. So you take this 4y, you multiply by the negative, only because we are just fixing the situation of common bracket here. That's all we are doing. That's why we don't distribute throughout. We are just taking this 4y, sorting out this negative. 4y times negative gives us a negative 4y. What's left inside the bracket? M plus 3n. Are we together, people? Now we are at a stage where the expression has a common bracket. Thank you, Unago. I'll definitely continue doing it. That's a very beautiful comment for you to say. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Really appreciate your comment. These positive comments, they always they boost my spirit a lot. Thank you so much. So m plus 3n now is what? It's common. I'm glad you're on fire. You must be on fire. So m plus 3n is a common bracket. So what do? We now take out the common bracket, which is what? M plus 3n. And then what are we left with? M plus 3n is common. The exponents are the same. So basically, it's, we are safe. M plus 3n on the left, what are we left with? We are left with 7x. M plus 3n, we are left with what on the right? We are left with negative 4y. And then if we look at each bracket, there's nothing else left to factorize. We cannot factorize any further, so we end right there. Okay, and then I'm going to do the very last one now, guys. We've been on this thing. When you think you are going to, it's because of these new people that have come. These new people, they ask questions, which is fine, but you guys do. You come here with a plan. And then people ask questions and they flood the comment section with these comments. Coach, it is easy. This is what I'm trying to get you guys to understand. Maths is a game. Remember that story I told about my son? I'm sorry, Tasha. I'm very sorry. The thing is, my son was so frustrated yesterday, and I laughed at him when he was so frustrated. But I thought to myself, I'm not going to intervene here. I'm just going to allow this person to struggle until he gets the hang of it. Because after he beat the boss in that stage, before advancing to the next stage, after he beat the boss, he was so excited. He was so happy. He came to me. He's like, Daddy, I finally did it. I'm like, yeah, I told you, Moss, you would be able to do this thing. And then after that, so obviously he went to the next stage, and then he struggled there, and then he had to start from scratch again. So he started from scratch again. He played the game again. But when he got to that boss, it was easy. It was so easy for him to advance to the next stage because that level was no longer an issue for him because he had learned how to actually take care of it. It's the same thing with maths, guys. Give yourself enough time to stay with the subject matter and do the problems on your own, so that you can be fine. Okay. Yeah. So 2x squared into 7a minus b minus 12x into b minus 7a. Okay, I'm sure you guys can see what you guys can see, all right? But first and foremost, we ask ourselves the very important question: how many terms are in the expression? Okay, this is grade 9, okay, and people are asking so many questions in the comment section, and I'm trying to teach at the same time, right? So obviously when schools open, I'll be doing this as well, but obviously just not in the times that I'm doing it now, because I am also going to be back at school, back with my kids. You also need to go back to your cells and your MEMS, all right, and you need to use those cells and those MEMS to help you out. Me, I'll just be supporting. I'll have to reschedule and see how I can line up my schedule for when schools reopen. Probably have evening sessions, but it will now be different days at different times, maybe different days for different grades, because I won't be able to have the time to give myself the way I am. I also have to give my kids in my school the time. So 2x squared into 7a minus b minus 12x into b minus 7a. We have an expression here. How many terms? You guys said it. There are 2 terms in the what? In the expression. Okay. But for now, Tasha, up until the 12th, I'm running the sessions like this. I start with the grade 9s at 7 a.m. and then at 8:30, I start with the grade 10s. Then in the evening, so far, I have the grade 11s at 9 p.m. and then I have the grade 12s at 10:30. So that's how I'm doing things. And yes, all topics are taught, but remember, I am following the ATP. So all the sessions that I've done so far are in line. I'm starting from the beginning. We've been doing this since December. So the learners who have been here with me since December, some of you were enjoying doing all sorts of things, we've been busy, Tina, and we have been doing these things. So if you want to find the sessions that I've done already, you can go to my YouTube channel. It's called Maths is a Game. The link is in my bio. You can click on it, go there. You can just check the sessions that I've done for the respective grades, grade 9, 10, 11, and 12. And the standard time for now, up until schools reopen, I'm going to be having, like I said, grade 9 at 7 a.m., grade 10 at 8:30, grade 11 at 9 p.m. in the evening, and then grade 12 at 10:30. That's how it stands, right? Thank you so much, and thank you guys for the follows. They are very much appreciated, and also the gifts. Thank you. 2x squared into 7a minus b minus 12x. Grade 12 is 12 p.m. is 10:30 galok p.m. Grade 10 is at 8:30 in the morning every day up until the 12th. Grade 10 I'll be having you at 8:30. All right. So 2x squared into 7a minus b minus 12x into b minus 7a. How many terms? You guys said it. It's 2 terms. Next question is, do I have a highest common factor? Now, people, please be careful. Do I have a highest common factor sign? Obviously, the highest common factor sign, the first term is positive, so the highest common factor sign is positive. Do I have a highest common factor number? Look at this. This is 2 This is 12. Here, guys, there's a highest common factor number. It's 2. Do I have a highest common factor variable? This is x squared. This is x. I always take the base I always take the base with the lowest exponent. So x. So positive 2x is the highest common factor. I actually have highest common factors for this particular problem, which is beautiful. All right. So what I'm going to do first and foremost, I can see 7a minus b and b minus 7a have could be potential common brackets, but they are not common brackets at the moment. So check me do the following. Let me apply first SCR. Oh, hey, it's like saying, let's apply CPR, guys, CPR. So let's apply SCR. Thank you, Tasha. Tasha has coined that one. And Tasha, you should write a textbook. 2x squared into 7a minus b minus 12x into b minus a. So let's go. 2x squared, 7a minus b, change the sign, change the order. You see, now we're not wasting any time. We're not taking out negatives. We just change the sign, change the order. We are not messing around. We are not messing around. We just apply SCR just like that. Change the sign, change the order. The explanation is already done. 2 highest common factor for everything. Sign, highest common factor for the sign, for the number, for the letter. Let's take it out. The highest common factor sign is positive. The highest common factor number is 2. The highest common factor variable, x squared and x, we take the common base that has the lowest exponents. It's 2x. And then last but not least, the highest common factor bracket is 7a minus b. That is my highest common factor. Do you see, guys, what I've taken out? Hey, highest common factor sign, highest common factor num, highest common factor variable or letter, and then my common bracket. SNLVC. Guys, I hope you guys don't watch these movies, especially when they have that number, that whole number that is above 17 and all these other things. These movies are not for us, right? But these SNLVC, S sign, number, letter or variable, that one is key for us. Okay, let's go. What did we take out? Okay, 2x squared into 7a minus b. Okay, re-explain for Unako. Staffans, let's just do it for you. So remember, I said how many terms are in the expression? We said there are 2 terms. That's the first thing. Okay, and we hopefully understand why it's 2 terms. Okay, then 2. We look at the brackets and we can clearly see that in the brackets, the order for minus that is in between is different. So we need to apply what? SCR, sign change rule. So we apply the sign change rule. This negative 12, we simply change the sign and change the order. SCR has been applied. Change the sign and change the order. The order. B minus 7a becomes 7a minus b. Changed the sign, which was negative to positive. Change the order. Now it's 7a minus b. Now we have what? Common bracket. Yes, it is the last one. Not that guy Gex is like, man, I'm so sick of this. All right. Then, next step, we take out the highest common factor. All right. The highest common factor, 2x squared into 7a minus b plus 12x into 7a minus b. When we take out the highest common factor, we consider the following. The sign, take out the highest common factor sign. Our first term is positive, so the highest common factor sign that we take out is positive. Next, take out the highest common factor number. 2 and 12. What is the highest common factor number that we take out between 2 and 12? The highest common factor between 2 and 12 is 2. Next, we take out the highest common factor letter of variable between x squared and x, which is the highest common factor variable. It is the common base that has the lowest exponent. So between x squared and x, we take out the x. Then 7a minus b and 7a minus b are common, so we also take that out together. 2x into 7a minus b. Unako Stephans, it's not my network, it's yours. Why? Because my sweet network says good connection. So it's you, it's not me. It's kind of like what people usually say. No, it's you, it's not me. No, it's me, it's not you. No, it's you. It's not me this time round. So don't blame me, please. My network is 100% beautiful. I'm so happy with it. Like, my network is networking. So we took out 2x and 7a minus b. Guys, this, all of it is our highest common factor that we've taken out. Are you with me? Now, we need to find out what is left over from the right side, because we took out 2x into 7a minus b as a common factor. Now, what is left on the left? We took out 2. 2 is already there. We took out x, but only one of that x. But we need 2 of these x's. So what do we need to leave here? We need to leave a single x. Are you with me, guys? We took out an x. We need to have 2 of them. How many do we need to add? We need to add 1x. Are you with me? We took out 7a minus b. 7a minus b, we need to have 1 of them. Do we still need to add another one? No. So the only term on the left that we are left with is x. Let's go to the right now. The right side. We took out a positive sign. A positive times what gives me a positive? The sign is still positive. Are you with me? Then we go and look at the number. 2 times what gives me 12? Or 12 divided by 2 is equal to what? 6. Amen. Then x was taken out. I need x at the end. Do I need to add any more? No. 7a minus b was taken out. I need 7a minus b at the end. Do I need to add any more? No. So therefore my answer is x plus 6. Factorized. Finito. Finito, finito, finito. Mamito, tinito, quinito. Mamacita, mamacita. Finito, minito, quinito. Okay. How was that? Alright. Now, for my standard regular people, I'm very sorry that today I've had to go through these problems, which I'm sure not that guy is like, can I just go and sleep? What were you doing? Who woke you up? Who woke you up? Did you wake up on your own accord? Or did you feel guilty that you're seeing people doing maths and you're like, oh my goodness, these people are doing maths and I know I need this for this year, and you're like, no, I need to stay. What is this, bro? What is That is so hilarious. My goodness, you are killing me. You are killing me softly with your comments. All right. So yes, this was grade 9, guys. This was grade 10. Thank you so much for joining in. Like I said, for grade 10, guys, I do live sessions for grade 10 every morning at 8 o'clock, 8 a.m. So you join in the session at 8 a.m. I've gone slightly more. I've given you more time than I usually do because I was supposed to be done by 9:30. And in actual fact, I was geared to actually go into the next type of factorization. So for my regular students, I'm really sorry, but I hope this affords you the chance to go and complete the rest of those exercises I had given you for these problems. So please go ahead and go and do those exercises. Mrs. Lubisi, I do grade 9s in the morning at 7 a.m. So those people need to wake up. They need to wake up. Mood maker, I don't know yet. I will know closer to the time what my live schedule will be set up as when schools reopen. All right. So please, for now, you need to just be patient with me. Grade 9s, come and join me at 7 a.m. Grade 10s, come and join me at 8:30. You grade 10 students, you guys have been a great audience. I really appreciate it. Grade 11s, come and join me at 9 p.m. in the evening. We are night owls, us. We thrive in the night. And then my grade 12s, as normal, you know, we are together us at 10:30 at night, because we are night owls. And all the live sessions that I have done so far in December for basically the preparation of term 1, those live sessions, I have uploaded them, guys, onto my YouTube channel. It's called Maths is a Game. You can go to my bio, you can click on there, go there. The videos are very raw, people. They are so raw. Okay? Yeah. Most of the new peeps were the ones bothering us in December. That's funny. So please, people, go check that out. And then for those that want homework or huiswerk, is it homework for the home? These were the problems I had in it. These were basically the game challenge problems. Well, I selected some of them. But you guys can actually screenshot these. You can do these for homework. I'm sure some of them will be a repetition of what I had done. But I mean, what a better way to check yourself against what you know. Maybe you can just for a moment do these on your own. The quicker you do them, the better. Don't wait until tomorrow. I promise you, there's something miraculous that happens. I'm sure you even noticed this thing when you were at school. When you leave the maths class, maybe sometimes when you're in the maths class, you're like, hey, I get sir, I understand him. Oh, I understand, man. Ma'am finally makes sense. You get this revelation. You're like, man, this maths is not so bad after all. Then you go to the next period. You get pumped with other information. You go to the next period, get pumped with other information. You go to the next period, get pumped with other information. You go home. You sit down. You do the homework that you were supposed to be given. You try and look at the previous problems and you're like, hey, icon, I don't know what's happening here. Then it's like you almost wish that ma'am was there to actually re-explain to you. Why does that happen? It's because we don't tackle maths problems immediately. The only way you can master maths problems and knowing the procedure to follow when you're doing maths problems is if you give yourself the chance, the time, the opportunity to actually do the problems. Please, people, spend the time. So these problems are factorized problems. We are not expanding here. We are factorizing. I'm looking at Leo Sibs, and Leo Sibs seems excited. He's answering the question. You can see what CEO Libs is doing there. Leo Sibs is doing there. This is not products or expand and simplify. We are factorizing. So for those who want to, those who have been in the live session, you can screenshot this and then you can also screenshot that. Take the time, do the 10 problems, and if you want, after you are done with them, I know as soon as I switch off the live, those who are amazing will go ahead and do these problems so quickly. Tasha, you're avoiding chores, icon. Yeah, don't get me in trouble with your mother. But, speak to your mother. I mean, if you're joining these live sessions, if you're joining these live sessions, please do speak to your mother and let them know that, Mama, Mommy, this time there's this teacher. He's really helping me. I want to improve. You saw most my maths marks last year, the report. They were not as, I want to level up. So you can always obviously join in. And just like I said, openly communicate with your parents. It's very important. Don't hide things, those who hide things always get into trouble. You remember Adam and Eve in the garden, they wanted to hide and they got into trouble. Don't hide. Speak out, be vulnerable. Let your parent know. Hopefully your parent can be supportive. They can also even send me a TikTok message if they want to confirm the validity of what we are doing, or you can just show them the phone so that maybe I can have, and you can say, my mama is here now, Stishala, can you just say something? And that way mommy can buy you data. Look at that. My mother's buying me data, so it's a win-win. So that you can join them. Hilarious. These people, you guys, icon. Okay. All right. That was it. Thank you so much. This was beautiful. It was nice. Mr. TK, I have not started grade 8 classes yet, but Yeah, it may probably take some time for me to do that. I did start grade 8 classes. I did have a session at one point, but I just saw that the reception was not so great. So the first live session I ever did with grade 8 is actually, I uploaded that session that I did with grade 8 because I started as per the ATP with whole numbers. Okay, Tasha, you are amazing. You are done with term 1, grade 10, even trig. I just need revision. That's very good, Tasha. I'm proud of you. You keep that up. Then I know it's a guaranteed level 7 that you are getting for grade 10. When for sure. Because already you are even exposing me to a sweet, amazing terminology like SCR, sign change rule. It's like you are a doctor in training, yeah? CPR, SCR, all the likes. All right. So Mr. TK, also push my lead. I know you are pushing very hard there, and I appreciate the work you are doing. My sir. You know, Landy, where you can let them know. Okay, I do have a WhatsApp group for those that would like to be part of that WhatsApp group. Landy, where 38 there. You know, he just said the group. Landy, where they can just, if it's okay, I can divert all people that want to join the group. They can just send you a TikTok message and you can send them the link and they can join in that way. Just that when you get the link, guys, you must copy the link, go and post it in a Google search engine and then press search so that it will divert you to the WhatsApp link. If you just click on the link, sometimes it does funky things because you are within the TikTok space, and sometimes when you are within the TikTok space, to just simply click on a link does not really serve the intended purpose. So sometimes you need to actually copy the link, get out of TikTok, go and post the link on the Google search engine, press search, and then it will basically lead you to the right place. All right. Mrs. Lubisi, I'm not based in Joburg, thankfully. I once was there. I'm so glad I'm where I am right now. Guys, please follow Mr. TK as well. Mr. TK, I love what Mr. TK is doing there. I'm just going to pin him there. I love what's happening in this TikTok space. There's people that I usually enter into their lives. I go into their life and I'm like, hey, this guy is doing some good work. There's people really, I love the heart. Mr. TK, thank you very much, Chairman. There he is. I just pinned him there. Then Landiwe, I'm sure he actually commented. So just after, Landiwe is very helpful. Landiwe is like, he's a sweetheart. Landiwe is like God sent, if you ask me, because really been helping me a lot with just getting the people to be in the group, so that sometimes when I'm live, I can just simply send the link there, so that people can actually get that liberty of getting into that lesson. I am happy that I join you. Mrs. Luby is no, that's fine. I'm happy as well that you guys get an opportunity to join in. Just if you want to guys be part of that grade 10 group, please contact my good friend Landiwe. Landiwe is the best. Landiwe is a rock star. Landiwe is super phenomenal. So Mr. TK, I hope you guys saw that. You can follow him, and then last but not least, let me just pin my like I said, Landiwe, it's almost as Landiwe is just God sent. So you can just, if you want to be part of that WhatsApp group, you can join that. You are welcome, Mr. TK. God bless you too, my friend. God bless you too. It's like I found a brother and a friend in this space. Thank you so much. Thank you a lot. Hey, Landiwe, I'm having a hard time pinning you. I'm having a hard time pinning. Oh, there we go. That's Landiwe, guys. He said Riatile. For instance, Riatile wants to join. So Riatile, can you inbox? You can just inbox Landiwe. Landiwe will send you the link. If there's anyone else that's in grade 10 that's in the group, they can also do the same. Thank you, guys. It was great. Tomorrow we'll be living it up or livening it up with difference of two squares and trinomial factorization. Hopefully we'll get to the point where we do advanced trinomial as well. All right, then after we are done with that, those who are in the group, you will get a small Anyana test from me, those who are in the WhatsApp group. All right, because every section, at least the section now that I've done up until this point, up until this point that we've done the sessions, I need to have a sense of, I need to check if you guys have grasped the content. Okay. Yeah, so that's very key. Then we can test you, then we can see if what is happening, are you understanding the work. Not that guy kids, I see you say you are coopering Euclidean geometry revision. If you want that privately, not that guy kids, then it means I'm going to have to do private, and private is obviously, I charge, my friend, I charge. There will be a good time when I will get to Euclidean geometry and I will do it for the benefit of the masses. But yeah, private lessons, guys, I'm not gonna play. I don't play around with private lessons, because look, now I'm giving you one-on-one, and it's personal, you see. So yeah, private demands private things. So I hope that's clear, guys. Thank you so much. Mr. Mabanga, I don't know, you said hello morning, we really appreciate what you're doing. My child wants to join. What grade is he in, Mr. Mabanga, your child? Because like I said, grade 9 we're doing it at 7 a.m. grade 10 we're doing grade 10 at 8:30. That's all in the morning. So grade 9 and 10 is done in the morning. Grade 9, like I said, 7 a.m. grade 10 8:30. And then in the evening at 9 p.m. we do grade 11. And then last but not least, at 10:30 p.m. we do grade 12. Grave night shift stuff. Yabo, night shift stuff. No, Mrs. Lubisi, it's for different grades. So Landiwe here is helping me with grade 10, with just collecting people's contact details with grade 10. I have different WhatsApp groups. There's a grade 9 WhatsApp group, there's a grade 10 WhatsApp group, a grade 11 WhatsApp group, and a grade 12 WhatsApp group. With the grade 11s, we concluded the exponents and surds, which is the first topic, and we have administered a test already on exponents and surds. So they wrote and feedback and stuff. So yeah, we're just going about it that way, at least since still it's holiday time. But guys, I must say, when schools do restart, you may find that I will not be as frequent in the lives, but I'll do it as often as occasion will permit. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Kalok, there's many of you. So Landy will be, obviously, it will take a lot of time. So just calm down. Okay. Chill. He'll get to you. But I have to go now. I have